Greetings, fellow learners. Welcome to IziCodeCraft. Let's turn our experiences into lessons. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join the journey. So, in the last episode, we went through the installation lesson. We pretty much set up our local development environment, ready for the Odin Project Foundation's course curriculum. Today we are going to advance to the text editors lesson. Let's see what we're going to learn. Introduction. A text editor is by far the most used developer tool, regardless of what type of developer you are. A good text editor can help you write better code with real-time code checking, syntax highlighting, and automatic formatting. It's worth mentioning that while some features like syntax highlighting might seem purely aesthetic, they can significantly reduce errors and improve your coding efficiency by making the code more readable. Why can't I use Microsoft Word? Rich text editors, such as Microsoft Word and LibreOffice Writer, are great for writing a paper, but the features that make them good at creating nicely formatted documents make them unsuitable for writing code. A document created with these rich text editors has more than just text embedded in the file. These files also contain information on how to display the text on the screen and data on how to display graphics embedded into the document. In contrast, plain text editors, such as VS Code and Sublime, don't save any additional information. Saving only the text allows other programs, like Ruby's interpreter, to read and execute the file as code. A good rule of thumb is to always use tools that are purpose-built for the job you're doing. In this case, a plain text editor is designed to handle code efficiently and without the unnecessary overhead that rich text editors bring. Code editors. You can think of code editors as specialized web development tools. They are highly customizable and offer many features that will make your life easier. There is nothing worse than spending 2 hours trying to figure out why your program isn't working, only to realize that you missed a closing bracket. Plugins, syntax highlighting, auto-closing of brackets and braces, and linting are just a few of the benefits of using a code editor. There are many text editors out there to choose from, but we suggest starting with Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code, or just VS Code as it's commonly referred to, is an excellent free code editor. It has outstanding add-on support and great Git integration. VS Code is the most popular code editor among Odin students and moderators, so support is easy to find in the community. Which editor you use is generally a matter of preference, but for the purposes of this course, we are going to assume you're using VS Code because it's free, easy to use, and works pretty much the same on every operating system. Keep in mind that this means you will not be able to get help if you are using a different text editor other than VS Code for the curriculum. While it's true that the choice of editor can be a matter of personal preference, consistency in the learning environment can help streamline support and troubleshooting, especially when you're just starting out. As a reminder, if you're using a virtual machine, you should install VS Code on your VM. You're welcome to also install it on your host, i.e., your Windows main OS, but ensure you have this critical tool inside your VM. Having VS Code installed directly on your VM ensures that your development environment is consistent and isolated, which can prevent a lot of potential headaches down the line. Visual Studio Code installation. Choose your operating system. Different operating systems have slightly different installation processes. Make sure to follow the instructions specific to your OS to avoid any issues. In my case, I'm using a virtual machine with Xubuntu, so I'm going with the Linux instructions here. Step 1. Download VS Code. Open your terminal. Run the following command to download the latest VS Code.deb package. If you're not familiar with the terminal, don't worry. It's just another tool we'll get more comfortable with over time. So, to open up the terminal, we are going to click Ctrl, Alt, and T. Then, simply copy and paste the command into your terminal. If you're curious about what the command does, in summary, it uses get to download the latest stable version of Visual Studio Code for Linux in .deb format and saves it to a file named codelatest.deb. The O option allows you to specify the name of the output file. In this case, the downloaded file will be saved as codelatest.deb. The URL points to the latest stable build of Visual Studio Code for Linux in a.deb package format, suitable for Debian-based distributions like Ubuntu or Xubuntu. So, it seems I got an error. With 503 status code, its service unavailable. Maybe this is some kind of connectivity issue. Let me try again. Now, command not found. This is weird. Oh, it might be because of that 200 on the beginning of the sentence. Let me try again. Now it's downloading. I'll fast forward a bit if this takes too long. Step 2. Install VS Code. Enter the following command in your terminal to install the vscode.deb package. If prompted, enter your password. Now, let's copy this command and paste it into the terminal. So to break down this command and what it does, the sudo command allows you to run programs with the security privileges of another user, by default the superuser or root user. It prompts you for your password to gain administrative privileges. Remember, administrative privileges are required to install software, hence the need for your password. Then, the apt, this is the package handling utility for Debian-based systems like Ubuntu. It is used to install, update, and remove software packages. In this case, we're using the install command to install a package. And the /codelatest.deb specifies the path to the .deb package we want to install. The / indicates that the file is in the current directory. Oh, there's a note here on typing passwords in the terminal. When using a command in the terminal that requires you to enter your password for authentication, such as sudo, you will notice that the characters aren't visible as you type them. While it might seem like the terminal isn't responding, don't worry. Yeah, we went through this same note on the last lesson. This is a standard security feature to ensure your password isn't visible to anyone who might be looking over your shoulder. Next step. Delete the installer file. So, let's copy and run it. After installing Visual Studio Code using that package, you'll have a file named codelatest.deb in your directory. To keep your system clean and free up space, you can remove this installation file with the command rm. This command is used to delete files or directories in Linux. We type the rm command and then the path we want to remove, being it a file or a directory. It's a good practice to remove such files once the installation is complete to avoid clutter. Step 4. Using VS Code. You can start VS Code in two ways. Click Visual Studio Code from the Applications menu, or use the code command from the terminal. The code command is a convenient way to open Visual Studio Code directly from the terminal, especially if you're already working there. Before you use the code command to open Visual Studio Code from the terminal, it typically needs to be added to your system's path. This allows you to run the command from any terminal session. However, when you install VS Code using the .deb package on Ubuntu, this setup is handled automatically. The .deb package includes scripts that create a symbolic link to the code executable in a directory that's already in your path. This means you don't have to manually configure anything, and VS Code is ready to use straight away. Let's take a quick look at the VS Code and what we have here. It's showing a welcome page and asking to choose the theme. I'm going with this dark one. The right theme helps you focus on your code, is easy on your eyes, and is simply more fun to use. Okay. Let's advance this for now. So here it is. We have a menu here on the left. It will show the files and folders. You have not yet opened a folder. Opening a folder will close all currently open editors. To keep them open, add a folder instead. Search to search on files and in the code as well. It says, you have not opened or specified a folder. Only open files are currently searched. Source control is going to be where we handle the code versioning with Git. We probably are going to set up this in the next lesson. It's saying for us to install Git, a popular source control system, to track code changes and collaborate with others. Learn more in our Git guides. Run and debug. This is to execute the application or website in debug mode, for testing purposes. Then we have the Extensions tab. We don't have any installed right now, but this should help on code specifics. I see Python here, for example, so we might need to download some depending on the programming language we work with. I guess that's it for now. We will explore more on this in other lesson or episodes. Let's go to the next part of this lesson. Assignment. Familiarizing yourself with VS Code will allow you to save time and become more productive. By watching this VS Code tutorial for beginners video, you'll get an idea of all the features VS Code has to offer. Don't worry about actually coding along. Just watch for the way that VS Code is used throughout the video. Take your time to explore VS Code's interface and features. Familiarity with your tools can significantly boost your productivity and efficiency. I might create a video more focused on that, to try to get an overview of VS Code 2 here on this channel. Additional resources. This section contains helpful links to related content. It isn't required, so consider it supplemental. VS Code docs are a great place to refer to for any of your queries related to VS Code. These handy little PDFs on Xcode shortcuts for Linux and shortcuts for macOS are a great resource to help make your VS Code experience smoother and more efficient. While not mandatory, these resources can provide valuable insights and tips that can enhance your coding experience. It's always good to have a reference handy. So, that's it for this lesson episode. We can mark it as complete. In conclusion, understanding and utilizing a proper text editor is essential for any developer. Throughout this lesson, we've discussed the importance of using a dedicated code editor rather than a rich text editor like Microsoft Word. We introduced Visual Studio Code, VS Code, as our recommended tool due to its powerful features, ease of use, and strong community support. We covered the installation process of VS Code, ensuring you have this critical tool set up in your development environment. Remember, using VS Code in a virtual machine ensures consistency and isolation, which is crucial for avoiding potential issues. By familiarizing yourself with VS Code, you'll gain efficiency through features like real-time code checking, syntax highlighting, and automatic formatting. These tools help prevent common errors and streamline your development process. Don't forget to explore additional resources and tutorials to make the most of Xcode's capabilities. The more comfortable you become with your text editor, the more productive and effective you'll be as a developer. Happy coding, and remember, the right tools can make all the difference in your programming journey. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this.